Good evening. Welcome to our coverage of this year's Sydney to Hobart. It's expected to be a record-breaking finish. Joining us live from the Derwent River is 7 News presenter Mark Beretta. Mark, what is the latest?
Oh, Freya, this is coming down to a thrilling finish. As you say, it will be a race record, which was remarkable after we saw Perpetual Loyal break the race record last year by a significant amount. This race record is going to be beaten by about 5 or 6 hours. It is just incredible what has unfolded in this race. Now, when we saw you a short while ago, the lead had just changed and Wild Oats 11 still holds that lead. If you look out here to the cluster of red lights, that is where Wild Oats 11 is at the moment, surrounded by almost 100 of the flotilla of craft that get out here and enjoy this incredible finish here on the Derwent River. The big problem tonight for the Super Maxis is the lack of wind. It is pretty still here on the river tonight, and that has really slowed them up. When Comanche got to the mouth of the Derwent, it really put on the anchors. It virtually stopped. And at that point, Wild Oats came flying by and has continued on. It is just better in the light breeze. It's the smaller, the narrower hull that gives it the speed here in the lighter winds. And that's been the downfall for LDV Comanche. The width of that hull, which really suits downwind racing. But when you get here in conditions like this, that hull sits flat, acts as drag and almost anchors the boat back. And that's exactly what we've seen. It had been talked about in the lead up to this race, but it unfolded exactly as Comanche didn't want it to happen, but it's played right into Wild Oats 11, which is now heading towards a record 9th line honours win. Don't forget, still hanging over that is the protest that we saw from the start line. Remember that moment when Jimmy Spittle turned Comanche towards Wild Oats? Wild Oats had to tack away, and as a result of that, Comanche put up a protest. If they go ahead and lodge that protest, they'll have to do the paperwork tonight, and it will be heard most likely tomorrow. That is if they decide to go ahead with that protest. But at the moment, it's all action out on the water. The big thing at the moment is trying to win this race, and you can see that wall of red light is coming towards us. Wild Oats, the dark shadow of the mast and the sails in the middle of that red light, and they're now just minutes away from crossing this finish line here on the Derwent River. They'll cross the line here and then it's a short trip into Constitution Dock. There are thousands and thousands of fans waiting on the dock. It is a beautiful night. It's been a gorgeous day here in Hobart. The sun has been out, the temperature's warm, but if you're a sailor, there's just not enough wind. So at the moment, Oats is creeping up on this line. They have done a tremendous job to get back into this race. And remember that throughout the day, these Super Maxis have been flying across Bass Strait at around 30 knots at incredible speed. That's been happening all day. And then they come to this moment crossing the line and they almost come to a complete stop. So at the moment, it is a battle to find those little breaths of wind that will get you across the line. All afternoon, since they turned into the river, the crews have been on the lookout for that little bit of ripple on the water, or that puff of air that will just fill the sails and take them that little bit further forward. Comanche have not had a lot of luck in that department, but Wild Oats 11 have, and that's what's got them into this position at the moment, just closing in on the finish line at the moment. They will have one more tack and they'll be back here with us. And as you can see, the craft here that are joining us out on the water, they do this every year. Hobart is a magnificent finish line. They come in from all over this region. They want to see this incredible race finish, and they have seen a thriller here. They will watch a record unfold here that who knows when this would ever be broken. You'd have to think it'll be a long time before we see this happen again. So at the moment, Wild Oats 11 out there. Mark Richards, incredibly successful skipper, incredibly experienced crew. They know these conditions, they know this river, they've done it many, many times. And now they have the moment right in front of them. They are just tacking back towards the line now. You can see those red lights coming back towards us. You would expect this should be the last tack as they take the line, but they are on course to take line honours in the 2017 Sydney Hobart. An incredible race. To think we've seen a record 27 international yachts here, 102 set off, and we've come to this moment now. Line honours, about 6 to 7 yachts will finish overnight before tomorrow morning. There is a flurry of action just outside the mouth of the Derwent River at the moment, but Wild Oats 11 on its way in here now. Just some of the official craft taking up their positions. But we are waiting for a Wild Oats 11 to join us here. Still that very light breeze. They're going to need a little bit more to get them here. They'll be praying for a little bit more. After all these hours, some would have been racing a day and 5, 6, 7 hours at the moment. They just want to get it done. They are so close to the line. They just want to get over and have this race completed. And of course, then they will go through the formalities of the protest that we saw lodged by Comanche. In the very distance, back down the river at the moment, you may see Comanche. They are a fair way off this line at the moment. So Wild Oats at this stage looks in the box seat to win. They are closing in on the finish line. Comanche back behind them. They will finish in second place. We'll leave you there for now. That is our approach to the finish line here on the Derwent River in Hobart. More updates throughout the night here on 7.
Absolutely. Incredible scenes there. That's our 7 Network presenter Mark Beretta on the Derwent River with that breaking news of this year's finish line for the Sydney to Hobart. I'm Freya Cole. We'll have another update for you in the next hour or so.
7 News, Australia's most watched news.